Good afternoon. For your last lecture, we'll make this quick. Am I audible? Narinig ba ako? Thumbs up if you can hear me. Sa mga nakikinig pa dyan, alam po nagmamadali na kayo. Yan. Salamat sa thumbs up. Pa-heart naman dyan, pa-heart. Kung attentive pa kayo. Ayan, thank you so much. Ingay naman ng paging. Joke lang. Okay, we will make this quick. Kaya ako last lecturer eh. So, magandang hapon ulit. I'm Dr. June Sanchez of the Occupational Safety and Health. Ito yung pinakasimple na lecture. No? So, to start with, I'll be lecturing again with regards to violence and injury prevention. So, hospital setting tayo. Okay? Taglish na lang ako para mas madaling intindihin. So, introduction. The importance of violence and injury prevention in hospitals. So, injuries are both unintentional and violence-related take the lives of 4.4 million each year and constitute nearly 8% of all deaths. Okay? So, specific context tayo, Philippine hospitals. Violence and Injury Prevention Program, or the VIPP, is the country's adopted policy in response to the World Health Organization's call for member states to develop measures to prevent injuries and violence. So, member tayo nun. So, the current situation in the Philippines, statistics on hospital-related violence and injuries are underreported. Totoo yan. However, with regards to patients, our institution has a specific unit that addresses such cases. So, meron tayo, and it is mandated sa lahat ng hospitals nationwide. Lahat ng hospitals, meron tayong WCPU, or the Women and Child Protection Unit. We all know that, di ba? So, konting data lang. This is the updated data from 2022 to 2023, 2024. Ito yung data natin. Physical abuse, sexual abuse, psychological abuse, tsaka yung total. So, update lang from January to July 1, 2025. No? Pinakamarami pa rin ang sexual abuse, no? So, ito, galing to data. Itong data na to galing sa medical records natin. Psychological abuse, this is the most underreported. Kasi ano bang kasali sa psychological abuse? Yung mga verbal abuse, yung mga sinisigawan tayo, 'di ba? Minumura tayo. Usually kasi yan we forgo those pero meron siyang may mga psychological may psychological effect yan sa sa pasyente or sa employees, no? We just don't know about it, no? Pero those are reportable cases, and the sad fact is those are the most underreported. Pero based on our data, sexual abuse is still the most reported. So these are being ito yung mga dinadala ng mga police sa emergency room. Sadly, this is the case. So these are the cases being reported sa hospital natin. This is from our medical records. Physical abuse, ito yung mga mauling, stoning, yung mga binubugbog, kung saan-saan. Yes. Apparently, meron pa rin cases na stoning. Cases of bullying. Yun yung mga cases na comprised dun sa physical abuse. So, as we know, there are still cases sa mga schools, mga bullying. Those should be reported. Tayo na may mga anak, we should be vigilant. The schools, the teachers should be vigilant. Hindi pwedeng napapabayaan yung mga ganyan na issues. So very important, these should be reported. We should be notified kagad to authorities para ma-actionan kagad. So it's very alarming, Every year we still see these numbers. These are very alarming. Sa dami nito, madami yan. Every year we see 130, 177, 135. Ito, 2025, January to July, 68. So, half the year pa lang, ganyan nakadami ang reported cases. These are the reported cases. How much more the underreported cases? So going back, what are the types of violence in the hospitals? Again, verbal abuse, physical assault, and psychological violence. So what are the causes of violence and injuries? No? These are the probable causes. Overcrowded hospitals. Aminin natin, our hospital is how many square meters? We are rated at 700 bed capacity, no? Napakalaki yung hospital natin, but we are 1,400 employees. Okay? So, relatively, dumadami na tayo. Our patient capacity, no? Sobrang dami. Bottleneck tayo. Tayo ang bagsakan ng mga pasyente. We cater not only to Batak, not only to Ilocos Norte, but other provinces as well. Therefore, our OPD, as we can see, evidently, we have long waiting line. We have long waiting times. Mahaba. Lack of security, relatively, hindi naman masyado. Masasabi siguro natin, we don't have the lack of security. Siguro, pwede natin dagdagan. Hindi naman sila kulang. No? Meron tayong security, pero we could probably add more because we a ratio of our security personnel as compared to our number of employees right now, medyo mas malit na. Stress and burnout among healthcare workers. Well, this is very evident, especially during the COVID, no? 2020 onwards. Medyo mas nakakahinga na tayo ngayon. Pero right now, post-COVID, well, may COVID pa rin. Pero right now, dumadami ng pasyente. Stress is still there. Burnout is still there. So those are the causes of violence and injuries, no? So what is the impact on healthcare workers? Physical injuries, psychological stress, and trauma. So ano ba nangyayari? Magkakaroon tayo ng reduced job satisfaction. So impact on patients, diba? Makakompromise ang patient care. And therefore, increase ang patient anxiety and fear. So, kesa pumunta sila dito sa hospital natin, maghahanap na sila ng iba. Or, mangyayari, yun nga, nakakompromise ang patient care, hindi na lang sila magpapacheck up or magpapacheck up na lang sila pag malala na yung sitwasyon nila. That's what happens. So, what are our prevention strategies? No? So we have our staff training and education, clear communication policies, environmental design, and security measures. So ano bang ginagawa ng OSH right now? For now, we came up with a recent memo. We are adding our workforce, no? Nag-add tayo ng a recent memo, nagdadagdag tayo ng additional representatives from each of our from our other departments, and by next week we will be having our in-house training. Manggaling PGH yung magti-train sa atin para ma-update yung mga policies. Mag-update tayo, magti-train tayo ng mga bagong occupational safety and health representatives, no, to augment our committee. No, because we are gearing towards accrediting our occupational safety and health committee. Time out. Inom muna tayo. Environmental design and security measures. So the question, do you want your workers to become injured? Yes or no? Basic naman, di ba? Do you want your workers to become ill? Yes or no? Basic. So here, paulit-ulit kong in-explain ito. Even during orientation of the new employees, I always lecture this, no? If there's one table that I want you to memorize, if there's one portion of this lecture that I want you to memorize, it's this. It's this slide. HIRAC, H-I-R-A-C. It's the Hazard Identification, Risk Assessment, and Control. Ito lang po tandaan ninyo. Isa-isahin natin. No? Hazard, risk, and control. So what is the hazard? A material or substance or condition or chain of events that is present in the workplace with the potential to cause harm. Harm can be an injury, an illness, a property damage, or even interruption of the business operations. Hazards can be unique to each business operation or specific to a work environment. Time mo to Len. Let me continue. Identification of hazards present in the workplace is the first step towards implementing an effective injury or illness prevention program. So, hazard identification, di ba? Ano ang risk? A risk is a likelihood that harm occurs when exposed to a hazard, causing a severe effect. So, severity is the likelihood ranges from 0 to 100% occurrence. Severity ranges from a minor first aid event to a serious amputation or very serious disabling injury, illness, or even fatality in the workplace. No? Workplaces can never be risk-free, or there's no such thing as zero risk. Zero risk is unachievable. Amount of risk that is acceptable or tolerated will determine the effort needed to prevent or reduce any injury or illness-causing situations. So, controlled execution. Tandaan lang natin ang tatlong E na to. Engineer or the work environment. So, ito, administrative na to. Educate, human element. This is where the training comes in, no? Kaya tayo may mga representatives from each department na iti-train natin. And then enforce, management system. So, training and education, kailangan natin de-escalation techniques, conflict resolution skills, and ongoing professional development. So, what do you mean when we talk about de-escalation techniques? Dito papasok yung mga security force natin. Speaking of which, may project din tayo sa ating security force. Okay? We are in negotiation with a group, dati kong teammates nung way back. For our security, may project ang occupational safety and health. Probably by August na or early September, we are going to train them for basic self-defense. And we will check their policies kung pwede natin silang bigyan ng mga nightsticks or batons para meron silang konting pang self-defense and protection, no, para sa kanila, and to de-escalate just in case may mga mag-amok na pasyente or kapwa employee pag may manag-away. Meron tayong protection dito. Kasi as we can see, di ba, wala tayong mga security guards dito sa ating institution. So yun yung isa pang project natin sa occupational safety and health. So that will happen on August or September. It will be primarily for the our security force, pero we will also open it for the interested employees na gusto makitrain. So communication policies, importante rin yan. Implementing zero tolerance policies. So it's all part of the de-escalating, no, na mga nag-aamok, ganyan. Reporting mechanisms for incidents. So meron din kaming isang project na ginawa, how to report mga issues, mga hazards and incidents. We came up with the QR code, no? So instead na maghaharap ka pa kung kanino pwede mag-report, ilalabas na namin soon yung QR code, which will be strategically placed sa mga areas sa hospital pwedeng picturean na lang, and we can report mga issues sa hospital. Hindi lang mga employees ang pwede mag-report, even patients can report issues or hazards and incidents. So anyone can report mechanisms for incidents. Okay. So environmental designs, secure access points, adequate lighting and surveillance, safe room designs for high-risk areas. So multidisciplinary ito, no? Yung mga incident, injury prevention and violence. Even yung Green Committee, kasali dito si Sir Gold. No? Multidisciplinary ito. Madaming committees ang involved. Kasi syempre kasama dito din yung even our maintenance is involved here. Kasi yung mga lighting, surveillance, CCTVs, security, kailangan dito. So role of hospital administration, leadership is very important, no? So in order for our projects to pursue, no, kailangan may full support ng administration, advocacies, no, allocation of resources for prevention programs. So kailangan may full support ng administration. And kailangan din collaboration with law enforcement because we cannot do this alone. No? Especially violence, when violence is involved, kailangan natin tulong ng law enforcement. That's why we always have partnerships with the local police, no? Especially kung may yung mga violence na beyond our control, kailangan natin tulong ng PNP para may mga rapid response protocols, especially, di ba, last year, nagkaroon tayo ng mga issues na mga nangyari sa ibang mga schools, no, mga bomb threats, ganyan. Let's hope na hindi mangyari sa hospital yan, di ba? At least sa schools kasi everybody is mobile, no? What if magkaroon ng bomb threat dito sa hospital? Eh ang problema natin, not everyone is mobile. What do we do with our patients, di ba? Anong gagawin natin sa pasyente natin? Bubuhatin natin silang lahat, di ba? Yan yung problema. That's why training is always important na continuous training, continuous collaboration with law enforcement para sama-sama tayo lahat, no, for injury prevention, violence and injury prevention. So that's all for my lecture. So contact information for further inquiries. This is our number, hospital number. Thank you for listening.